Former Frank Martin opponent Michel Rivera, also known as, kind of the fake Ali, Muhammad Ali. I'm too fast. I shook up the world. He has now called out Devin Haney. He says he always fancied the fight. He is available, he is ready, and he wants the smoke. In a brand new interview, Michel Rivera says, quote, "I'm always available for Haney. They know me and they know what I bring. I know I can beat him. I could do better than Ryan Garcia. His father knows me well. I'm confident this is the fight that should happen. I am here and I am calling him out. I need this fight. I want it." Michel Rivera continues by saying, "I want to be a world champion and I'm a better fighter than him. I've built my name through my skills, not just promotion. Everybody knows me because I fight pretty good. I'll beat him anytime and anywhere." End quote, Michel Rivera. In my opinion, in estimation, this is not a bad fight for Devin Haney to at least consider. Michel Rivera is pretty big. He had to eventually move from 135. Same with Devin Haney. I think he has a great resume. He's 26-1, 14 knockouts. He's from the DR. He has a, good look, and he's ranked like number 14 in the WBC and the IBF. So for him to fight Devin Haney, who's the WBC champion in recess, it kind of makes sense. The other thing is this. I've told you, Devin Haney probably should take a lesser fight than, like, let's say a Ryan Garcia rematch. I think if Devin Haney, coming off of the last Ryan fight, April 20th, if he hypothetically were to go straight into a Ryan Garcia rematch, I think that would be catastrophic. You have to make sure everything's correct, make sure you don't have PTSD, make sure your bearings are correct, your confidence is there. Listen, people could say whatever they want. I said what I meant, and I stand on it. From day one, I think a confidence booster is needed. Somebody who's a good stern test, but not like a top 3 in the division type of test. Because again, if you have too many miscalculations in a short span of time in the world of boxing, that could be very damaging. Like, you look at Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu lost to Sebastian Fundora. I understand the nature of it, the elbow, the cut. He lost though. Then he fights Murtazaev. I've seen someone in the comment section call him Murtazaev, right? So Bakram Murtazaev, right? You lose to him and get dropped 4 times, I think it was, and knocked out in 3 rounds. Now your whole world's upside down. So for Devin Haney, he only has 1 loss that was later overturned, and it doesn't count as a loss, but people still remember that. So your next fight is going to be very important, because despite it not being on your record, it's still on people's memory. You can change it on BoxRec, but you can't change people's mind about what they watched in the Haney Garcia fight on April 20th. So there's been other fights that he's already kind of turned down. Like Liam Paro said he was asking for wicked money that wasn't going to happen. So they went on, and now he's fighting his mandatory, Richardson Hitchens. Sandor Martin, same thing. That was his mandatory. You paid step aside money, but you weren't ready to get back in the ring or whatever, and the WBC called it. So then you became a champion in recess, and now Sandor Martin's going to fight Alberto Puello, who just beat Gary Antoine Russell, and that's a good fight. So for me, Devin Haney, like, he's going to have to get back in the ring at some point. And the bad side is this. If you guys notice how this game works, notice that when you're on top of things and when you got a good aura about you, you don't see as many people like calling you out. This shows everything that Boxing Ego has said regarding Devin Haney is 100% accurate, because you have seen and you have heard an influx of fighters now boldly calling out Devin Haney and saying, I want to fight, and not just I want to fight him. They're sounding very confident. We're talking Liam Paro. He's like, I know I can beat him. We're talking about Blair the Flair Cobbs. I know I could beat him. He said Devin Haney is a B. You have Keyshawn Davis. You have now Michel Rivera. Like, it wasn't when Devin like beat Regis Prograis. I don't feel like the people who are calling him out, they weren't as like brazen and upfront. You also have other former fighters like Tim Bradley, who says that Devin Haney looks soft as Charmin. So the whole Ryan Garcia fight was nightmarish because it's really spun Devin Haney's brand on his head, and it's just not the same imagery that people had before you entered the ring, because you had just beaten Lomachenko close. You had moved up and fought Regis Prograis. You beat him. Now, might I add, that win did not age that great, because we just seen Jack Catterall over the weekend beat Regis Prograis and hurt him badly and drop him twice in one round and almost stop him. And he just had Regis Prograis looking bad. So it kind of makes you question, how good has Regis Prograis been in recent years, right? It's the reality of it. So like I said, now everybody's calling you out, saying that, you know, Gary Antoine Russell, you know, he's had his say. His brother Gary Russell said that's sucker-ish. You know what I mean? And now, like I said, you're being called out by people who, when your stock was higher, like Michel Rivera, no disrespect to him, or even Blair Cobbs, people are almost enamored with what they have seen, like a recency bias. So when you're winning, people remember that. But when you lose, and you lose in that fashion, like he did initially versus Ryan Garcia, it just changes things. There's no other way to put it. And now you have people, when Blair Cobbs is talking crap about Devin Haney and calling him out, you have people saying at 147, Blair Cobbs can beat Devin Haney. But before that, like if he came off the Regis Prograis and never fought Ryan Garcia, I don't know that people would be saying that. Or this Michel Rivera type of fight, if Devin Haney beat Ryan up, I don't know that a Michel Rivera call out would be looked at as serious, you know, or guys like Liam Paro. I don't know if people would have, you know, looked at like a Liam Paro as a threat. But now that's the thing with boxing. If your stock is not high and you're off a bad loss, you have to recalibrate and almost reconfigure all your past and prior notions about a winner and a loser of a fight. Like, if you thought a person was going to lose, now you got to re-explore, how good is this person? Like, let's say Murtazaev, right? Murtazaev, if you thought he wasn't no good, but then you seen what he did to Tim Tszyu, you have to re-examine like where you rank him, because you were wrong. And then Tim Tszyu, if you rated him highly, like, oh, he'll beat Jermell Charlo and he'll beat Terrence Crawford, he'll beat blah, 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 he's the best at 154. When you see what happened to him and how he's getting dropped 4 times, you have to kind of reconsider those things. Same exact thing with Devin Haney. The only difference is he got his overturned and he's suing, and he didn't get actually knocked out like Tim Tszyu. But everything minus the knockout was kind of present in the Ryan Garcia fight. So I don't know. I think Michel Rivera is a good comeback fight for Devin Haney. Let me know what you guys think. The only guy he lost to is Frank Martin, and he's since fought. He did fail a PED test, but then, you know, he's cleared to fight. So I don't know. I think if Devin goes too high up in the pecking order, that could be bad. So I think he needs a fight like, well, Michel Rivera, which could be a dangerous fight, but again, not someone ranked top 2 or whatever. You don't want to come off the Ryan Garcia fight and go into a Ryan rematch or a Tank fight, but we'll see what they decide. Let me know what you guys think. Church.